Pile one, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We are doing another future spouse pick a card reading. This one is your first impressions of your future spouse. We already did one a couple of days ago where we found out what their first impression was of you. This is flipped. Now we're going to find out what your first initial impressions are of your future spouse. Okay, you guys? So yeah, we're going to ask, let's see what your overall first impression of them is going to be. We're going to see if you feel an instant connection with them, if you feel like an instant spark or an instant chemistry. Do you instantly find them physically / sexually attractive? And then we'll just have some overall messages regarding, you know, your first impression of them at the very end. Okay, you guys? Keep in mind, pile one, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave behind anything that doesn't. I do have personal readings available. If you would like to book one, just check the description box below for booking details. There are a lot of $25 readings available in the future spouse category. Okay, so pile one, you guys were drawn to the lemon calcite. Let's get your overall impressions of your future spouse. We have companion in the upright position. So this says loyalty, tenacity, and selfishness right off the bat. Good vibes you feel when it comes to your future spouse. And then we have trine. This says most fortunate aspect, harmonious, luck, opportunities, creative flow, comfort zone, and natural talents. Okay, look at a lot of the gold here. See all this gold? There might be some Leo energy. You might just feel like, you know, they might have a natural glow about them. They may just have that feeling. They just may, you know, whenever you're around them, just you may feel good. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's find out. Okay, what is pile one? What does pile one feel? What's pile one's first initial impressions of their future spouse? We got not today. I'm picking up your person doesn't do a lot of drama. We got cassette, but it's coming up in the reverse. Let's get one more. Pile one's first impression of their future spouse. Pile one's first impression, the sword and the rose. What you see is what you get. That's your first impression. You trust this person. Cassette in the reverse. Okay, so in the upright position, the cassette talks about outdated thinking, outdated conditioning, replaying events over in your head, but this is in the reverse. So this is saying that, you know, your first impression of your future spouse is that they can be very forgiving, very adaptable. Possibly they don't hold grudges is a first impression you have of them. The sword and the rose says clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. So yeah, you feel right off the bat that your future spouse is somebody that you're able to trust. They're going to be a person of their word right off the bat. Let's see, is there anything else you want to add? Overall first impressions. Pile one's first impression of their future spouse. Your first impression of them is that they're going to make a great partner. You know, yes, you know, a great romantic partner, a great future spouse, but like they're in partnership. They're a great helper. They, you know, they're not just going to be somebody, you know, like say that if you guys have kids, they're not going to be the kind of person that's just going to come home and sit on the couch, you know, while you watch the kids all day, or expect you to be the one to do everything around the house while they just sit on the couch. There's a partnership there. They're definitely a companion. I'm hearing a confidant, okay? Somebody that you can confide in. Somebody that will hold space for you without judgment. Definitely drama-free. All right, what more do you want to add about your first impressions of your future spouse? Pile one's first impressions of their future spouse. We've got Two of Pentacles. Let's get a couple more. Pile one's first impression of their future spouse. Show me pile one's first impressions of their future spouse overall. The Hanged Man. Yeah, just seeing things from a different perspective. Very peaceful. I'm picking up on peaceful. Let's get one more, one flipped. Yeah, Six of Pentacles. Great reciprocity, like I said. Equal give and take is going to be your first impression. Let's find out what the Two of Pentacles is about. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. They're great at balancing things. Yeah, so with Companion here, and then with the Two of Pentacles, it feels like they're great at keeping things in balance within the connection. They're going to be able to see, for instance, you know, if you have too much on your plate, pile one, they're going to want to come in and help kind of balance the workload a little bit, you know. Regardless of whether or not you are able to do more, it's like they're paying attention to, you know, the mental load, the physical load, the emotional load, and it's just like, where can I help? Where can I jump in? Where can I help? That's your first impression of them. Let's go ahead and clarify the Two of Pentacles, though. They do what they can to keep the flow going. Yeah, okay, so with the two, we got the Ten of Wands in reverse. So the Two of Pentacles is being clarified by the Ten of Wands in reverse and the Ten of Swords, okay? So that's what they're doing. It's like they're looking to see, okay, where is my help needed? Where is my energy needed? How do we keep this thing afloat? How do we keep the balance? I'm seeing somebody kind of juggling, and you know, your future spouse kind of looking to see where they can hop in, right? Before things get to the point of being a Ten of Swords energy. How can they help with the burden, right? How can they ease the burden of their partner, of you? A really good companion. This really, with the Trine and Companion here, this really sizes up your first initial impressions of your future spouse. Very favorable. Definitely into partnership. How can we make life better for each other? Let's see. All right, instant connection. Pile one. Does pile one notice or feel an instant connection to their future spouse? First impressions. Does pile one feel an instant connection? Does pile one feel an instant connection to their future spouse? We got strings. Let's get two more. Does pile one feel an instant connection? We also have, what is that? Support in the reverse. Does pile one feel an instant connection? Let's get one more. Does pile one feel an instant connection? Right off the bat, the connection and or the bond may be something that needs to be built over time. I'll see what's going on with strings here and support. First impressions. Clarify strings. Clarify strings. You might feel a bit detached, actually, and I don't know if that's going to be just kind of, you know, how you feel towards this person, or if that's just like an overall energy that you're in. It looks like communication between the two of you is going to be fine. It's going to be on point. But like an instant connection, let's see, what is strings? Three of, yeah. I feel like you might be in the process of healing when you meet this person, pile one, and so this might be indicative of maybe you kind of holding off on allowing yourself to really feel this kind of a connection with the Three of Swords in reverse. It's like maybe your energy, you're more, your energy is going more towards maybe rebuilding a connection with yourself. There may be a part of you that could just feel very detached. And so let's find out what support is. What's support in reverse? It's like you notice, you notice consciously and with your eyes, and you see this person showing up in a way that you notice they're a great companion, they're a great support, but you don't feel it yet. I hope that makes sense. What's support in reverse? It's like you notice it, but you don't take advantage of it. What's support in reverse? Quite a few. That's 4 cards. We'll find out what's going on here. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. We also got the Sun in reverse, followed with the 5 of Swords. You're going through something, I feel like, when you meet this person. Okay, we got the Ace of Pentacles as the 4th card wanting to come out. It's like consciously, your conscious mind sees what's going on, but you're not connecting to it internally. We got the Sun in reverse here with the 5 of Swords. Like the Sun is their energy I'm picking up on, right? The Sun is Leo energy. It's that warmth. It's that positivity. But there's something going on. This could be something going on in your life, something going on internally with the 5 of Swords energy here that's kind of blocking out your ability to really tap into this person. Or, you know, when I say take advantage, I don't mean in a manipulative kind of way. It's almost like, you know, this person... and this just may be your way of kind of distancing yourself mentally and emotionally from connecting to this person prematurely. But it's like, it's not the time with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. But the potential is there. You do recognize that. So it's like you don't feel the connection instantly, but you definitely recognize consciously that the potential is there. But for some reason, you're stopping yourself from really being able to feel it, to connect with them on a deeper level. And it is very well likely going to be because of this 3 of Swords in reverse. You're in the process of healing when you meet this person, but you do pick up on the potential with the Ace of Pentacles. You know that the potential for a connection is there. Okay, a connection, a bond, stuff like that. Let's see. Do you feel an instant spark or chemistry? All right, pile 1. Does pile 1 feel an instant spark or chemistry with their future spouse? First impression. You got cut through. Does pile 1 recognize an instant spark or chemistry? Hot and cold. I'm gonna say initially yes. You do feel you might be kind of the avoidant one in this energy. You recognize it, but it's almost like you shut it off. You shut it down. That word could be this where this not today energy is coming from as well. Seeing this person and seeing the energy that they have to give, and maybe just when you meet them, you recognize you're not at a space yet to fully connect to them. Let's get one more. When you meet this person, pile 1, I don't know if you're going through, there's a karmic connection. Yeah, I feel like when you meet this person, you might actually feel maybe somewhat apathetic towards like romantic relationships. You might feel kind of numb because, you know, you might be going through that part of the healing process where it's like, you know, you're like, yeah. But when it comes to like an instant spark and, you know, chemistry, there definitely is that there is spark and chemistry there. But whether you are aware of it or not, pile 1, there is actually a part of you that fears having sparks and chemistry with somebody because of maybe, you know, it reminds you of, you know, either a relationship in your life or maybe when you had sparks and chemistry with somebody and, you know, you lost control. you know, maybe that person was running hot and cold. I feel like there's kind of a switch, or, you know, a shift in energy where maybe somebody was hot and cold with you in the past, or this is a pattern that you've had, and it's not, now you've kind of turned into that role yourself, feeling very hot and cold. Yeah. You do feel chemistry there. You do feel instant chemistry and an instant spark with your person. And it's something that comes and goes with you, with this hot and cold here. So you may actually show up to your person as somebody that sends mixed signals. You feel it, but then there may be a part of you, even if it's subconsciously, that does something to shut it down because of it reminds you. Again, we had that Three of Swords in reverse. You're kind of in this process of healing, but there may be a subconscious part of you that actually fears feeling that spark and that chemistry with somebody, because, you know, maybe there's a part of you that is, you know, subconsciously like, remember the last time we felt this way towards somebody, it got us in trouble, right? They stole our hearts, they ripped us apart to shreds and blah. And so when you meet this person, consciously you're able to see they're a good person and they mean what they say, you know, they do what they say, things of that nature. And it's almost like it's like you get too close to the sun, basically, right? You get too close to that feeling of warmth, and then you shut it down. You go hot and cold, okay? Let's see, do you find your person, do you instantly find them physically / sexually attractive? Does pile 1 instantly find their future spouse physically, sexually attractive? There's the bond, okay? We got yes, and then we also have Halloween. There's 2 yeses, so we're gonna get one more card, but right away that's a yes. You do find them instantly find them physically and sexually attractive, okay? And then we got a maybe there. But yes, you do. You know, but then there is something that kind of comes in and kind of waters it down a little bit. So with bond here, it says soulmate, strong love bond, love of a lifetime. We also have Halloween, so maturity / ripe, prosperity and wealth, autumn time / the holidays. It says timing issue, time will tell, don't worry about time. This almost gives me like, you know, yes, you do feel an instant attraction and an instant, you know, like an instant physical / sexual attraction to them. And it also grows with time, right? This is more kind of that energy where maybe you feel more okay feeling physically or sexually attracted to somebody. It's the getting close, it's the getting close to the heart part, right? That may be a little bit scary. With Halloween, it's like it's a little bit scary. Too close for comfort, that kind of an energy. Let's see. Now we're going to get messages about kind of tying this all together. Let's see. Pile 1, if this is resonating, if it's entertaining, if it's adding to your value of life or your quality of life at all, do me a favor. Smash that like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know what pile you picked. Let me know how it resonated. And then definitely hit that subscribe button so you can become part of the family, as well as the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. We got trust. It says it is safe to trust in this situation. New love. It says a new love or a recommitment to love is developing. Let's get more. You do notice right away this person is somebody that you can trust, and then you also feel like they have integrity. Again, it's like you pick up right away. You know, they say what they mean and they mean what they say. It says, does the situation align with your value and morals? And this is how you see your person. Your first impression of them is that, you know, they say they're going to do something and they do it. They follow through. Their follow-through game is really, really good. And it's just you are able to pick up that, oh, you know what's coming up, pile 1? You trust them but I think subconsciously it's the person you're not trusting is you. You're not trusting yourself. And so that's what kind of comes in and kind of messes with the connection at the very beginning, because we're talking about like first impressions, okay? And like first impressions, that's something that happens like, you know, the first time you meet them, maybe the first couple of dates you spend and stuff like that. We're not talking about like, you know, the first weeks or months of your relationship. We're just talking about just a snap, a moment in time, right? And so, your initial draw is to trust this person. Your initial draw is to open up to this person, and then you catch yourself and you're like, wait a minute, you know, hold up, it's too soon for that. It's too soon to let, you know, to let this person in. Not yet. You do recognize that there is a physical attraction there, and even that you're sexually attracted to this person, but you're like, okay, I acknowledge that. And I'm gonna, you know, just because this person looks on the surface like they're trustworthy, I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna just let them into my heart until a little bit more time has passed. I hope that makes sense, okay? Let's see. More about overall messages about pile one's first impressions of their future spouse. There you go, quality time. Yeah, spending more time with this person is really kind of what solidifies everything. I do pick up that, you know, you are picking up on this energy of your person just really being trustworthy, being a person of integrity, and it's your common sense and also a little bit of fear and doubt, like, okay, yes, and I'm still gonna hold off on letting this person into, you know, my heart until I know for sure, right? And that's done through spending some quality time with them. So yeah, so an overall message about your future, about your first impression, is a lot of this is solidified through you just, you know, you being able to trust them, you letting them into your heart, you know, creating that connection. Although it's like, you know, you're not really allowing yourself to feel it instantly, you do allow it to build. The more quality time you spend with this person, the more you see that, you know, okay, they're consistent in the way they're showing up. It's not a false, it's not a mask, you know what I mean? Let's get a couple more. Victory, yeah. Success, rewards, spotlight, definitely. The more time you spend with this person, the more you realize, you know, what you see is what you get with them, which is exactly what you're wanting. They are somebody that you can trust. You soften up towards them and you let them in, right? The more quality time you spend with them. You ease into it. Let's get one more. I am picking up energies too. Like you do, your first impression is like, you know, like you're saying to yourself, if this person is who they say they are, then this is going to be, you know, a really successful, fruitful, victorious relationship. And it is, right? With victory, it does prove that, you know, time does prove that they are exactly who they say they are. And then we have old flame reminiscing about how things used to be. They may remind you of someone that you used to know. I was hearing a little bit of that song earlier. For some of you, this could be an old flame returning, okay? For those of you where it resonates, this could be an old love coming in, but in a brand new energy, okay? If that's not that, and you're like, heck no, nobody new, I mean, not taking nobody, you know, old or whatever, then this is just saying this person reminds you. There's something about this person that reminds you of an old love, not the bad stuff, right? But like maybe some of the things about that old flame that didn't work out, where, you know, that you enjoyed about that past relationship. It may bring up some, you know, some nostalgia. Remind you of how things used to be with the old person, okay? The former flame. Let's get one last card. Messages about pile one's first impressions about their future spouse. I keep hearing it seems and feels like old times. But in a good way, okay? In a good way. You are good enough. And this is how this person makes you feel, okay? Not saying that you need their validation, but you get it, right? And so that's exactly how this person makes you feel. It's like their energy. It's almost like there's this joy in this. I can't even put into words what the feeling that I'm tapping into. It's joy. It's God. It's love. I can't even put it into words. It feels so good. And it's almost like being in this person's energy is like very cleansing, you know, and it kind of, it transfers that into you. It's almost like, yeah, their energy is very cleansing. Think about all the things that, you know, they tell you to put out in the sun so you can cleanse it. You know, there's a lot of, you know, a lot of viruses can't survive, you know, in the sunlight or UV rays and stuff like that. And that's kind of like what it's like, you know, being in the presence of this person's energy. There's going to be certain self-limiting beliefs, maybe certain ways of looking at yourself that when you're with this person, they're just not going to be able to survive, right? In a good way. It's like very cleansing from the inside, okay, in terms of like energetically. I hope that makes sense. All right, pile one. That was your reading. I hope that it resonated. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I will see you guys at your next pick a card future spouse video. Bye, guys. Hello, you guys. Pile two. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We're back doing another future spouse pick a card reading. We are looking into what your first impressions of your future spouse is going to be. A couple of days ago, I did a video where we got your future spouse's first impressions of you. This is all about your first impression of them, okay? Let's see. So we're going to find out your overall first impression of them. Then we're going to get really specific, and we're going to ask if you feel an instant connection with them, you know, because we're talking about first initial impressions. Do you feel an instant connection? Do you feel an instant spark / chemistry with them? Do you find them physically / sexually attractive right away? And then we're just going to close the reading out with getting messages about your future, messages about your first impressions of your future spouse. I hope that makes sense. All right, you guys. Keep in mind, pile two, it's a general reading. Whatever resonates, take that. Leave whatever does not resonate behind for someone else. Yeah, and just remember, if you want me to tap exclusively into the energy of you and your future spouse's connection, check the description box below for booking details. I do have a lot of $25 readings available in the future spouse category. All right, so pile two, you're going to have to help me out if you know what stone this is. I have no clue. I was going to say it's chrysocolla, but it's not, okay? It's kind of like green with some clear. I don't think that's quartz, though. I'm not really quite sure what this beautiful stone is, all right? But yes, it's that stone. Let's get your overall energies. So we got Messiah in the upright position. So we're going to read the light attribute. It says serving humanity with humility, okay? So with, you know, a humbleness to them. And then we also have the Leo here, okay? So keywords, first impressions of your future spouse, you see them as very courageous, very loyal, charismatic. You might see them as a leader, very generous, very protective. It also says jealousy and drama. But with Messiah here in Leo, your first impression of your future spouse, pile two, is that they could be some kind of a community leader. You may actually see them as somebody with the capability and the power to save or rescue humanity in some kind of way. Okay, you see this person. Your first impression of your future spouse, pile two, is that they're a very powerful person. They're very charismatic. You see them as, you're very drawn to them. Your first impression is that you can't take your eyes off of them for some reason, okay? So, yeah, first impression, and then let's see. Let's get some more. Show me pile 2's first impression of their future spouse. You might see them as holding a very prominent role, maybe in government, seduction. You're very attracted to this person, okay? Which pretty much answers the question whether or not you find them, you find them physically or sexually attractive. You do. Right off the bat, you do. Let's get a couple more. Heartbroken. Let's get one more. You may see, your first impression of this person, pile 2, is that you may see them as someone who has the ability to break your heart. We'll do some more to find out where a lot of this energy is going. Then it says, I like you. It says, someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun, flirting, wanting to date. This is definitely, we got dating and flirting here twice. This is, yeah, this is someone you are magnetically drawn to. Very magnetically drawn to. You are instantly turned on by this person. Both in their persona and then like the way they carry themselves, okay? We'll find out what's going on with heartbroken here. You might actually see this person as unattainable. We're talking about first impressions, okay? First initial impressions of the person who ends up becoming your future spouse. Let's see. Tell me more about pile 2's first initial impression of their future spouse. What's heartbroken here for? For pile 2's first impression. Yeah, there's 7 of Swords. Interesting. Let's get 2 more. There's definitely an energy here of you feeling almost intimidated by this person's power, this person's charisma. There's, with the 9 of Cups in reverse, okay, they intimidate you, okay? Your first impression of them, this isn't, we're just talking about first impressions. This isn't even necessarily have to be someone that this is before you may even have a dialogue with them, but your first impression of them is that maybe they're too much to handle, maybe that you're going to have a lot of competition, that somehow or for some reason you see this person as someone who's going to end up breaking your heart. We got the 7 of Swords here. What's the 8 of Cups in reverse? What's the 8 of Cups in reverse here? You are all in your head. You are all in your feels about this person, pile 2. We got the 7 of Wands here with the 9 of Swords. Yeah. Something about this person and just their energy in general. Maybe the power that they hold or the role that they play or the position of power that they hold or something like that really intimidates you. It makes you wonder whether or not you have what it takes to maybe hold this person's attention. With the 8 of Cups in reverse, especially right next to the 7 of Swords, it's like, fearing that maybe this person might have some kind of a hold over you, that even if you were to catch them lying or cheating. Now again, this all feels like it's playing out in your head. I'm picking up an energy where maybe you haven't even met this person and you haven't met them in person yet. This is all happening in your head, right? Like there's just this fear or this dialogue going on in your head, like, yeah, I bet that person has a lot of options. They probably talk to a lot of people, they could probably get me hooked, and then it would be so difficult for me to leave. Like, even if I caught them with the Seven of Swords here, being deceitful or, you know, doing some sneaky stuff, I'd be unable, like, even if I left, I'd come back with the Eight of Cups, right? And then we got the Nine of Cups in reverse, just feeling like something's missing in terms of emotional fulfillment. There's a lot of fear and doubts your future spouse instantly triggers within you. I feel like this is before you even meet them in person. This may be before you even talk to them in person, right? Or just talk to them at all. Something about them instantly throws you back into this energy of feeling worry, anxiety, panic even, for some of you I'm picking up on. Okay? With the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck here, you might actually see this person as a kind of god with Messiah. Or, you know, they have that regalness, they have that aura, that aura to them. And it's gonna, you know, your first impression of them is, you know, they're very intimidating. I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose. Like I said, this feels like you haven't even met them yet, you haven't talked to them yet, the two of you haven't even discussed anything, but there's something about them that is very, very intimidating. But, you know, you are able to pick up on the fact that, yeah, they're serving humanity, but there's a humbleness to their personality, even though they are able to command respect, and they're able to command an audience, like a large audience. Okay, let's see. What we're going to do now is, do you feel an instant connection to them? I'm going to say yes. I do feel you do feel an instant connection to them. Let's find out though. Does pile 2 feel an instant connection to their future spouse? We got confusion, we got passion. Let's get one more. That's a yes. You definitely feel an instant connection with them. They stir up a lot within you, and that might just be part of their energy. That might be part of, you know, their soul's makeup here. Let's get one more. Mystery. Yeah. You feel an instant connection to them right off the bat. And I feel like, I don't know why I'm keep picking up this energy where, you know this person, you know of this person. I feel like this person has, there's some kind of public recognition. They might even be like low-key a celebrity, right? And so you're going to know about them possibly before they know about you. And it's just going to be, it's that feeling like I'm getting ready to meet somebody that everybody knows, right? Even if it's just somebody that's known locally, everybody knows this person. This person, the minute they walk into a room, they command it without even having to say a word. You know, it's that kind of energy. Like I said, humility keeps coming up here. Like, this person is humble, but it's just they carry such power, such influence, such an energy. It's instantly, you know, it's gonna trigger some anxieties within you, some panic, some worry, definitely some self, you know, it may cause you to question, even if for a moment, you know, am I really worthy of this person? This is really giving me heavy, like you're about to date somebody that's low-key a celebrity pile 2. All right, this is what this is giving me. But not just a celebrity though. This is somebody that holds the love and the honor and respect of a lot of people. Okay. Let's see. Do you feel an instant spark in chemistry with them? I'm going to say yes, you do. Well, this is going to be an instant spark in chemistry. So this is going to be you guys actually, you know, maybe once the two of you actually speak in person, whether it's romantically or not, right? Soulmate, yeah. Instant, you feel an instant spark in chemistry, but it's like a soul recognition. And then we got wish come true, but it's coming up in the reverse, and we'll find out what that is because we did have the 9 of Cups coming up in the reverse. Finality in the reverse. We did have the 8 of Cups in the reverse that came up earlier. Is this somebody? For some of you, this might resonate. This may be somebody that you already know. somebody you may have already had some kind of, you know, an experience with. There's an instant spark and a chemistry here, but there's something kind of getting in the way a little bit. It's like to keep, it's there, it's recognized. You recognize an instant spark and, you know, chemistry with this person, but there's still something there. I'm gonna find out what that is. It's like it's giving me that energy of something's missing. Okay, again with that Nine of Cups in reverse that was coming up earlier, it's like, yes, but something's missing. What is that? That heartbroken, you may know this person, like when you know, your first initial impression may be that they're heartbroken. Maybe they just got out of a relationship, or, you know, maybe they're going through some troubles or something like that. We'll find out what it is. With permanent ending here, if you're not if you don't have a, if this isn't an old lover returning, then I feel like what's going on here is that you're going to know, or you're going to meet this person at a time when they might be going through a very public divorce or a very public breakup, or they're just maybe, you know, what is this energy here? What's causing this wish come true to come out in the reverse position? There's the Death in reverse. Something's not over. There's the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I feel like there's a connection that's not over. Someone in this connection, and I feel like it's them, because we're talking about your first impressions of them. You know, they're the ones that you're seeing them possibly as being heartbroken or being in separation with someone. That might be a fear. You're fearing that whomever they separated from, they might go back to that person. That's what it is. You do feel an instant connection, instant chemistry, but there's that little nagging thought in your head, like, you know, what if it's not really over between them and the past person? Now, we are talking about your future spouse, so obviously this is a connection that you move forward with. We're just talking about the first initial impressions, right? Page of Cups. Yeah, you know, it's starting off small. Starting off very small. Possibly starting off with a friendship here. Very friendly, sweet communications. Let's see, what else do we want to do? Do you find them sexually, physically attractive? Does pile 2 immediately find their future spouse physically, sexually attractive? We got Clash, 2 loves. Yeah, I feel. Okay, let me get one more. I'm gonna say that at the time when you and your future spouse's paths, like I said, I feel like this is somebody who's got they're publicly known, whether you already aware of this person or not. Like at the time that you become aware of them, I'm picking up, you know, you being introduced to this person maybe at, like, you know, a function or a gala or something like that. And, you know, this person's life is very well known. They're going through like a very public, you know, separation. A lot of people know about it. It's on social media. Let's get one more. And, you know, you might find them physically and or sexually attractive, but because there is someone else, like, I'm feeling like it's, you know, it's on, that old relationship is on its way out, but you know it's not completely all the way out yet. And so you shut that down. Because with seduction up there, you do find them very sexy. But there's something about what's going on in their love life that is a turnoff to you. Let's get one more. Apology. All right, so for those of you where this may be somebody you have already had some kind of a, you know, a thing with, you know, there's an overall energy here, physically and sexually. Like, it's primarily sexually, just feeling turned off. Not because you don't think they're sexy or physically attractive. There's just something going on where you're like, no. You know, do you feel a connection with them? Yes. Do you feel a spark and a chemistry? Yes. It's like, but there's something going on where you're like, no. Are they affable? Yes. But do they turn you on with everything else? I feel like pile 2, you're probably one of those people where it takes more than just, you know, a hot body or whatever to become sexually, you know, to be sexually turned on by somebody. And I feel like that's what's going on here. You do see the appeal with them, but something initially, your first impression of them, there's something going on in the background with their love life where you're like, no. I don't know if they have I don't know. I'm not picking up on heavy energies of them being known to be like a playgirl or a playboy or whatever, you know. It may be something like they're like first initially, like your first impression of them is like they're off limits, even though there's rumors going around that things between them and someone else are ending. It's like you don't want to become like a third party. You know, that's up here in that seduction energy too. Like you don't want to be a third party. You don't want to be a side chick or anything like that. There's an energy here of they're available, but they're not, right? It's like they're on the tail end of something, and when you meet them or when you become aware of them, your first initial impression of them is, you know, they might be single, but they're not available, if that makes sense. Or they're almost single, but almost doesn't count, right? Yeah, and then with the unawake at the bottom, it says sleeping on love. Yeah, I feel like, you know, that it could be there, but there's something where you're like, they're not available, so I'm not even... You know, it's a turn off basically. Okay. Let's see. Let's get messages now. Just some overall messages about your first impressions of them. While I'm getting this energy out, you guys, if this is resonating, if it's entertaining you at all, if it's adding to your quality of life, do me a favor, show your thanks, appreciation by smashing the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know what pile you picked to let me know how it resonated. Smash the subscriber bell, or the button I should say, to become part of the family, along with the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. Yeah, we got boundaries, okay? This may be one of those things where you meet your future spouse and it's not something where you start to date right away, right? This feels like you might meet them in the middle of, you know, a divorce, in the middle of a separation or something like that. Boundaries being set. There's apology again. It says you can expect the apology you want to hear. I'll pull on that because we got apology twice. Let's get one more. Twin flame. Ooh, talk about deep connection. This is a divine counterpart connection. Okay. This is also giving me energies of somebody that maybe you had some kind of, you know, an experience with, and maybe they didn't take you serious the first time around. Okay, for those of you where that resonates, this could certainly be somebody from your past coming back around, okay? Why is apology here, though? That's what I want to know. Why do we have apology here twice? Ooh, that's interesting. It's kind of a little bit of a plot twist. They may have come off as rude to you. They may have come off as rude to you, okay? First initial impression, it's like there's like a public image, and then there's like, I don't know. There's something about, maybe they came off as dismissive. There's something here. This is so weird, pile 2. You might know what this is about, but it's like you're recognizing they have all this power, and, you know, maybe they are using it to help, communities and influence, in good ways and stuff. But then there's just this energy here of maybe you feel dismissed or even ignored by this person. We got apology twice coming out here, though, where there's energies here of maybe this person, not that they didn't realize that I don't know, it's like maybe you caught them at a bad time. This is giving me energies of somebody that goes up to someone and asks them for, like, an autograph, right? And the person just turns away from them without even acknowledging them. And maybe what you're not seeing is, like, maybe that person is just having a bad day, or maybe they're overly stimulated, maybe they're checked out and so they literally didn't see you. It's something like that. But this could be somebody too, especially if they hold some kind of position of power. Maybe someone that you were going to work with or collaborate with, and maybe you saw them as, maybe they were rude to you. I keep hearing dismissive. They were dismissive towards you. But there's an apology coming and an explanation, okay? For whom that's going to resonate. It's going to resonate for somebody, because we have apology here twice. A lot of you, this person, you met them and I don't know, it's like they didn't give you the time of day at first. Again, this could be something where this could be a second look at a connection. This doesn't even have to be somebody that you had a relationship with. This could have been somebody maybe you went on a first or second date with, like, years ago, and the two of you are matching up again later on down the line. It's giving me something like that. Like the first time you had, some kind of an interaction with this person, whether it was romantic or not, you were like, God, that's a rude MFer. They're rude, dismissive, like, man, And then you tell them about the first time you met them or something like that, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's like you got apology here coming out twice. They are going to apologize to you. But the connection between the two of you is undeniable with twin flame coming out. And with twin flame, you don't have to believe in the twin flame concept. For me as a reader, that just lets me know that we're talking about a connection that rivals all others, okay? And it's mutual. This is a mutual thing. Let's get 3 more messages about pile 2's first impressions of their future spouse. Messages about pile 2's first impressions of their future spouse. All right, so we have messages. This is text, phone calls, conversations. We have the worst nightmare, but it's coming up in reverse. Okay, this may have been something the first time you met this person may have come off as what looked like a karmic connection, but what you didn't understand and realize it was actually a twin flame. You guys just met at the wrong time. Okay, so, and that can, that happens sometimes, especially when, whether you believe in the twin flame thing or not, it's like it's the right person, it's the perfect person, but it was the wrong time. Okay, let's get one more. So this, yeah, so it's almost like this is like this, your first impression of this person, it's almost like this, it feels like a second, you're running into this person again, okay, and you're going off of, like, your first impression may have been like the first time you met them, and now there's like a second chance on having a different impression of them. Let's get one more. We'll find out what messages is there for celebrations. What's messages here for? Oh, King of Cups in reverse. I keep hearing slow your roll. They may have met their match with you. With boundaries here, this almost feels like, you know, you're going to put them in their place. You're going to let them know, you know, they're not going to be able to, you know, run all over you. They're not going to be able to just do whatever they want. You're going to let them know up front, like, this is what I need in order to feel safe in a connection. Like, if we're going to date and move forward, this is what I need. Otherwise, this is not going to work, right? What's messages here for? Messages between the two of you as far as first impressions may feel a little bit dry at first. With the King of Cups in reverse, what's messages here? First impressions, messages about first impressions. Two of Cups in reverse. I'm not gonna lie, pile two, this may be somebody you've already talked to, somebody you already know. This may also be talking about you setting boundaries about maybe the way that they communicate and talk to the ex, right? Like, keep it on the up and up kind of a thing. Messages about your overall impression of them, you're going to realize that, you know, your mind made things worse than what they turned out to be with, you know, the worst nightmare, karmic connection in the reverse here. Those first initial panic, those first initial worries and anxieties, you're going to realize was just mostly in your head. With celebrations here, you realize you guys are going to have a really good time together. They're really going to redeem themselves, it feels like. Let's get one last card here for messages about pile two's overall first impression. It's time to release negativity. Yeah. With the full moon in Scorpio, it's like, you know, I'm going to be honest, this person, your first impression, your first encounter with them it may leave like kind of an iffy taste in your mouth, right? You're not really quite sure about this person. You don't know if they're going to be a safe bet. You may even look at them as risky. Definitely kind of giving you that energy of like, it's a thrill, right? Butterflies and stuff like that. As you get to know them though and talk to them a little bit more and you get more comfortable in setting and enabling your own boundaries and things like that, you start to get comfortable and you start to release some of the fears and the anxieties and stuff that, you know, were being triggered by this connection. Okay, pile two. We're going to leave that here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I will see you guys at your next pick a card future spouse reading. Bye guys. Hey pile three, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We're doing another pick a card future spouse reading. We are tapping into the energy of your first impressions of your future spouse. So I just did a video a couple of days ago where it was all about their first impressions of you. This is now your first impressions of them. Okay, you guys, so we're going to be looking at just overall, like your overall general impression of them. Okay, first impression. We're going to find out if, you know, if you felt an instant connection to them. Did you feel an instant spark / chemistry? Do you find them physically / sexually attractive immediately? And then we're going to wrap the reading up with just getting some overall messages regarding your first impression of them, just to kind of wrap it up, okay? So just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general reading. Take whatever resonates. If it doesn't resonate, just leave that behind for someone else. Then, yeah, I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your future spouse's energy. Just check the description box below for booking details. There are a lot of $25 readings available in the specific person category. Okay, so you guys were drawn to the beautiful, I think they call this a garrisol. I hope I'm saying that right, rose quartz. It's a different kind or quality of rose quartz. It's very much see-through, very pretty. And then we also have, let's see, overall energies. We've got femme fatale in the reverse. Okay, so overall first impressions of your future spouse. So we're going to read the shadow attributes. It says inappropriate use of sensuality Attachment to money and power, okay, is your overall first impression. And then we've got 5th house here, and this says self-expression, drama, romance, love affairs, creativity, hobby / interest, pleasure, play, joy, and attention. So your first impression of your future spouse, pile 3, looks like you might be, you might be thinking of your future spouse as somebody who might be a playboy or a playgirl. Again, it says inappropriate use of sensuality, and it also says attachment to money and power. And with the 5th house here, that's, good times, love affairs, that's, you know what I mean, entertainment. So you might see them as being irresponsible with their money. Maybe just like they play too much, okay? And a lot of that, like I said, immediately the phrase that came through is playboy or playgirl, okay? You might see them as somebody that you might honestly see your future spouse. Your first impression of them may be that they are not, wife or husband material, okay? I'm just keeping it real with the energies that are showing up for you guys in pile 3, okay? Let's see, pile 3's. Show me pile 3's first initial impression of pile 3 of their future spouse. Show me pile 3's first impression of their future spouse. Pile 3's first impression of their future spouse. Let's see, it says camera, but it was coming out in reverse. This is reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learning from the past, and making memories. But that's in the reverse. So let's get a couple more. Pile 3's first impression of their future spouse. I keep hearing you play too much. This is like your thoughts of them. It's like you're telling your future spouse you play too much. Let's get a couple more. Coffee cup. It says meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. I'll be honest, this could be somebody initially that you guys decide to kind of maybe friend zone because you don't see them as, and we're talking about first impressions, okay? This is someone that you end up marrying. This is somebody that's coming through in the energy as your future spouse, but we're talking about first initial impressions. You might initially friend zone them because you are under the impression that, they play too much, they're not ready to settle down. It's that kind of an energy. And then we have snake with competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, and the other woman. Yeah, this is someone that, your first interactions with them, your first impressions are that, they don't want to get married, they ain't trying to settle down, they're not trying to commit. Stuff like that. Let's see. But we're going to find out now. Do you feel an instant connection with them? Does pile 3 feel an instant connection with their future spouse? First impressions. First impressions. Does pile 3 feel an instant connection with their future spouse? Did something flip over back here? No. The fact that these are not wanting to come out kind of lets me know that initially, pile 3, you may not even really want to give your future spouse the time of day because you just see them too much in playboy, playgirl, fuck boy, fuck girl energy. There's daydream. Let's get a couple more. Does pile 3 feel an instant connection to their future spouse? First impressions. We got memories in the upright position. Passion. You see it, so yeah, there is some kind of a connection here. This might even be somebody that you know from childhood, okay? Or you guys could, there might be an instant connection in terms of like you guys might connect or bond over things that you remember in childhood. Like if you guys didn't know each other in childhood, there might be things that you experienced in childhood that the two of you are able to connect with and reminisce about, and like, oh, do you remember back in the you know, whatever, when this was happening, and do you remember when that happened and what you were doing when that happened, and things of that nature. Yeah, you guys do have, there is an instant connection there. Yes, there's passion. And that passion, it's like you guys share a mutual passion. I'm not going to say it's an attraction yet, but there's something about, because we got memories twice coming out, even though up here it's like in the reverse position, right? If you guys didn't know each other in childhood, if you guys didn't grow up in the same neighborhood or anything like that, there's just something that the two of you are able to reminisce over. A lot of things in common regarding your childhood or regarding things from the past. Being able to talk about things like, oh yeah, I remember that. You know, with daydreams here, this could be a lot, you know, you guys could share a lot of the same dreams. In terms of, you know, dreams for the future, what you want for the future. Yeah, you connect in that way. There is an instant connection here, and it feels like it has something to do with childhood, okay? Mutual childhood memories. Okay, let's see. Do you feel an instant spark chemistry? Does pile 3 feel an instant spark chemistry? Their spell work. Yes, you do. You certainly do. Okay, you feel an instant spark in chemistry with them. You definitely feel the pull towards them, and that could be like the snake energy, like feeling charmed by the snake, kind of feeling drawn and magnetized in. But you definitely do, you know, there's this energy of you resisting it at first. Okay, let's get a couple more. But we are talking about somebody who is coming through in the energy of being your future spouse. Again, we're talking about first initial impressions. There we go. We got divine intervention. Let's get one more. Yes, you definitely feel an instant spark in chemistry with them. A message is coming through that a bond. So yes, there's there is an actual connection / bond that develops between the two of you very quickly. So let me get one more. We got Gypsy and Dry Spell. Okay, so, and we are going to find out next whether or not you feel an instant, like, you know, sexual, physical attraction to them, but I feel like you're putting that part of it on ice. We got Gypsy here with Dry Spell. It's like, you know, yes, you feel the chemistry, you feel the spark, but with Dry Spell and Gypsy here together, it's like we don't, you know, yes, we feel it, but it's unknown when or how it's going to unfold past, you know, because I feel like you wanting to make sure this person isn't going to be a player with you, right? It's, you know what, you see what I'm saying? And so, yes, here, right? We got spell work and divine intervention. And it's almost like, yeah, there's spell work, like maybe this person is trying to put their charm on you, right? Divine intervention comes in, and it's like, yeah, no. Yes, there's, you know, that spark and that chemistry, but, you know, your future spouse, pile 3, is like they're not going to be allowed to use that charm to manipulate you in the ways that maybe they were able to manipulate other people, right? It's not going to lead to maybe something that's just strictly sexual the way that maybe they have been with other people. I hope that makes sense. We're talking about somebody here that does end up being your future spouse, okay? We do have sexual abstinence, no action in love, and a long time being single. So they might try and run game on you, right? Like they may have with other people in the past, but divine intervention comes in and says, no, something stops that from happening, and it stops it from moving any further. So the answer to the question whether or not there's, you know, chemistry, a spark, yes, there is, but something kind of comes in, not necessarily extinguishing it, but it keeps the spark and the chemistry from like blowing up out of control, right? Let's see. Do you find them physically, sexually attractive? Got maybe. Let's see. Yes. Okay. And then we have a soft spot. It says they're petty, emotionally vulnerable, Yes, you do. Let's get one more. That might be too, divine intervention coming in and, you know, kind of cutting off that part. That might be how this person, you know, operated. They might use sex or seduction or something like that to get what they want from people, but, you know, you're not allowing them to do that to you, or they're not being allowed to do that to you. Yes, it's just yes all over the place. We got together. We got a couple of no's here, but we have more yeses than anything. Okay, so yeah, you do. You are physically and sexually attracted to them from the get-go, and that physical attraction, that sexual attraction is not allowed to spark things out of control. Okay, it's almost as if like something's happening, something comes in, it's divine intervention, or it could just be you setting up boundaries where it's like you're not allowing them to take advantage of you in the ways that maybe they took advantage of other people. Let's see, let's find out what messages about their first impression, your first impressions of them. While I'm getting these messages out, you guys, if this is entertaining, if it's providing or adding to your quality of life, okay, hit that like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Let me get these out, because holy moly, just so much here. Messages about your future spouse. Anyway, comment below, let me know what pile you picked, let me know how it's resonating. So hit that subscribe button to become part of the family, along with the notification bell, so you don't miss a reading or a announcement. So you set boundaries with this person. Someone does, they might come through with an apology, like if they tried to, you know, run game on you or something like that, they apologize for it. Obviously, you end up seeing this person as being marriage material, okay? In the very beginning, first impression is they're a player, they're not taking commitment seriously, they're not going to take you seriously, right? But then, you know, as time moves on, you end up seeing them. Of course, you end up marrying them, but you do actually see them, you know, as marriage material. This literally says this relationship is moving towards a sacred union, okay? We got divine intervention showing up, and so things are happening in the way to kind of move the connection in that direction. True love says this love is emotional, physical, and unconditional, okay? What helps that to a lot is you setting up boundaries, like you're not going to treat me like you treated all these other people, right? Let's see, what else do we have? Pile 3. Overall messages about Pile 3's first impressions of their future spouse. They end up getting, you know, they stop seeing you, or it is because you friend zone them initially, and you form a bond with them, an actual connection, where they see you as more than just, you know, someone to have, you know, sexy time with. Let's get 2 more. That's what moves them from seeing you as like a plaything to, you know, seeing you as marriage material, as well as like actually seeing themselves as being someone, you know, your person, you know. In the very beginning, it may be, Pile 3, that your person doesn't even see themselves as marriage material, but that obviously changes in the course of your guys' connection, okay? This is carrying the energies of a connection that does not start off like you, the two of you don't start off like dating. It's not going to be one of those where it's just like, you know, it ends in a happily ever after, but it doesn't start that way, okay? It doesn't start that way. I feel like you end up friend zoning this person because, you know, they don't come to you the right way in the beginning. You guys do end up forming a connection, forming a bond with this person. They see you differently, and then, you know, they start taking you, they take marriage and all that stuff seriously. They notice true love. Okay, we got free yourself. Get one more. Oh, you know what? It does. It feels like this is one of those things where this connection does a complete 180. okay? You end up seeing this person, like in the very beginning, your first impression of this person is going to be like, oh, they're, you know, they just like to, they're not serious about nobody, they just want to F around and blah, 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 right? But the message about your first impression is eventually your impression of them does a complete 180. A complete 180. This is it's gonna be a connection where you end up, it's a lot of PDA, a lot of affection, you know, public displays of affection. The two of you are gonna be very lovey-dovey, you know, and you may not see them like that, you know, because of the way they appear at first, like especially if they're wanting to be in fuckboy or fuckgirl energy. You know, they may not be very lovey-dovey with people out in public, but, you know, with you, it's marriage and true love, right? And so, yeah, it's like your perception of them does a complete 180 in terms of what it starts off looking like, right? That could start with maybe the two of you going on a vacation together, going on some kind of a, you know, it could even be like a little weekend getaway. Something shifts the way you see this person and the way you see the dynamic of this connection, and it does the same for this person as well. We got free yourself here and vacation. It's like you realize how much you guys enjoy each other's company, how free you are to be yourself. Yeah, and it just becomes very apparent that what you have with this person and what they have with you, like this feels mutual, right? That, you know, it's a true bond, it's a true connection. Like, you know, they genuinely enjoy your presence and they genuinely enjoy your company, and there's not even any sex involved, at least initially, right? And so, you know, it's kind of like, whoa, kind of like one of those 180 things, like I was saying. That happens for your person as well. Like they notice and they realize that, you know. Let's get one more and then we'll wrap up the reading. Pile 3's first impression of their future spouse. Surrender to the divine. Yeah, taking your hands off of it really, and just, you know, trust in divine intervention. The way things start off is not the way that things are going to end, okay? So even if something does start off with this person where it is very casual in the beginning, if there is sex involved or something like that, right? It doesn't end casual, it ends in marriage, it ends in true love. And the way, you know, things are being driven and guided by divine intervention. We got, you know, I got free yourself here, we got surrender to the divine, we have divine intervention. It's just all about like the universe's hand is all over this, right? Steering it in the direction that it needs to go, which is marriage and true love. Okay, you guys, we're going to end your reading there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I will see you guys at your next future spouse pick a card reading. Bye, guys. Hey, Pile 4, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card future spouse reading. We are tapping into your first impression of your future spouse. So I already did a video a couple of days ago where we talked about your future spouse's first impression of you. If you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out. This one is all about your first impression of them. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at in this reading, you guys, is we're going to be looking at your overall general first impression of your future spouse. And then we're going to get a little bit more specific, and I'm going to ask questions like, you know, did you feel an instant connection to them? Do you feel an instant spark / chemistry, you know, first impression wise? Do you immediately find them physically / sexually attractive, or is that maybe something that builds with time? And then we're just going to close the reading with some messages about your first impressions of your future spouse, okay? So keep in mind, Pile 4, this is a general reading. Take whatever resonates, whatever does not resonate, just leave that behind for someone else for whom it does resonate. And I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into the energy of you and your future spouse's connection. Just check the description box below. I have a lot of $25 readings available in the future spouse category. So just the link is in the description box to book one of those readings, okay? Pile 4, you guys were drawn to the Amethyst tooth. Let's look at their overall general energies of your first impression. Let's see. We have the shadow attributes of, we got the Midas/Miser, and then we also have the Saboteur. Okay, so those both came out in reverse. So I'm going to read the shadow attributes. The Midas/Miser, that says hoarding money and emotions. And it also says obsessive fear of losing your wealth. And then Saboteur shadow attribute that says induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. Okay, so this person, your first initial impression of is that this person tends to get in their own way quite a bit. Okay, you might see them as pessimistic. You might see them just as, you know, irresponsible. Let's see what this is here. And we got fire, but in the reverse. Okay, so in the upright position, it can talk about being imaginative, being enthusiastic, being a leader, being creative, impulsive. In the reverse position, though, this is like this person not having the fire, not having the motivation to make things or make positive changes happen in their life. Okay, that's largely the energy I'm getting with this kind of energy here. How do I want to do this? We're just doing the shadow attributes, so we'll do it like that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, first initial impressions that you have of your future spouse, pile 4, is they get in the way. They sabotage their own prosperity. They just might have a very sour outlook on life. They could be like a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer kind of an energy. Let's see. Yeah, with runner, you might see them, your first impressions is you might see them as running away from responsibilities. Let's get a couple more. Pile 4's initial impressions. We have soulmates. You definitely see, you're able to see behind the mask, though. You're seeing beyond. It's like you're seeing the potential here. Let's get one more. And I understand, you know, like you may be getting like a sour taste in your mouth just from this reading right off the get-go, and I understand where that's coming from. This is just the energy that's coming through for your future spouse, though. Let's get one more. Oh, one already wanted to come out. What is that? Girl with a snake. Empath in narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used and enabling boundaries. You may see this person as somebody that you definitely are going to have to like put boundaries up with. Strong boundaries, I'm hearing. Let's see. Let's go to the tarot. We'll get a little bit more information here. Soulmate says soul connection, partnership agreement, soul contract. Despite this first initial impression, there's still something about this person that you're recognizing. It's almost like you recognize this person as your future spouse, even though, you know, consciously to your mind, it's like they don't check off some very important boxes, right? But there's almost this recognition, you know, a part of you knows who this person is to you. Let's shuffle one more time. We'll see. Again, we're just talking about first initial impressions, okay? We're not talking about like the first few months of your relationship. This is just like, you know, your first initial impression of them. Could be right, you know, could be wrong. We got Knight of Cups in reverse. Let's get a couple more. Pile 4's initial impressions. We got the Page of Cups. Your first impression of them is they're very sweet, you know, very sweet, maybe even very innocent, possibly very childlike, okay, maybe in a very immature manner, because we do have a Knight showing up, but it's showing up in reverse. Look, this is crazy. King of Cups in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse. The only energy here in the court cards that's in the upright position is the Page of Cups. So they're very underdeveloped energetically, okay? A lot of potential here, and I feel like that's what you're picking up on with the soulmate energy. Very underdeveloped. They have the makings. It's like, so when you meet them, it's almost like they're going to have to go through some kind of an up-leveling, or they're going to have to mature. 4 of Pentacles. It's almost like you can tell they've kept themselves from growing up and from maturing for some reason. Yes, they get in, you know, they're getting in their own way quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, for some of you, your person may even like still live with their parents or something like that. Yeah, pile 4, being very honest, this is just the energy that's coming through. Energetically, it's like your person still has a lot of growing up to do. That they have been resisting. For some reason, they're not wanting to move past a certain point. I feel like they're stuck at a certain point in their childhood. That might be what it is. There's something that may have happened in their childhood, or there's some kind of a sabotaging belief system that they picked up in their childhood that stunted their soul evolution. It stunted their evolution as a person, right? It's like they might be maturing in age, but they haven't matured as a soul or an energy yet. And they're supposed to be, right? They you know, they're supposed to be, but they're not. Let's see. Do you feel an instant connection with them upon meeting? Family. You might know this person through family. They might be introduced to you through family. This might be a connection that is set up through family. This could be an arranged marriage for some of you, where you might be in countries that still, you know, that still support that and do that. We got healing here. Guarded, yeah. There is an instant connection, but with guarded here, it's like, you know, kind of like a hand up, holding it at arm's length. Yes, an instant connection. And a bond can quickly form, especially with all the cup energy that was showing up earlier. Even though some of it was in reverse, or most of it was in reverse, that's still a lot of emotional energy. You're going to be able to connect to this person on a very deep heart level. That might even actually help them to move on, and, you know, because growth can be exponential, you know, when it comes to healing. We got healing here with family. You know, so you could meet them at a time in their life, like they're seeming very immature, and then, you know, in a very short time of meeting you, just the way energy and soul level, you know, soul level connections can be, they could mature very, very quickly. We got healing here. So there's something very healing about this connection. Maybe more so, I mean, it could be for both of you, but I feel like the impact that the healing is going to have may be felt on an emotional level more on your person. Okay, we'll keep going. We got forgiveness at the bottom of the deck there. Your person may be, your first impression of your future spouse, pile 4, is your person may actually be withholding themselves. They may be holding themselves back from being very successful, from growing up. It can be very unconscious or very subconscious. Like I said, it's like they're stuck in childhood. Something happened in childhood that they've had a very difficult time moving past. It may be them not wanting to get, I don't know, maybe they lost a parent. Maybe they don't want to be more successful than, you know, one of their parents or something like that. You know what I mean? I feel like you pick up on that though. You see that. Let's find out if you feel an instant chemistry / spark with them. An instant bonding connection, yes. Okay, now we're going to see if there's chemistry and a spark. And then we're going to also see if there's an instant physical / sexual attraction. That phone call is giving, that phone call in reverse is giving me the same energy as that Knight of Cups in reverse that came up earlier. Oh, a lot of references to childhood, family stuff. No, I'm going to be honest. It doesn't feel like there's going to be an instant, like instant chemistry and an instant spark, which, you know, some of you, I don't know if you know, there's you can have a bond and a connection with somebody, you know, and then, but not necessarily have spark or chemistry, right? We're talking about instant. We're talking, I'm not saying you're never going to have spark or chemistry, but we're talking about an instant recognition. You know, the answer to that question, I believe it's going to be more of a no. First impressions, right? There's going to be something about this, the way this person approaches you, that is going to be a turn off. It could be even, styles, like ways of communicating. And if it's not a turn off, it's not a turn on, right? It doesn't necessarily have to turn you off, but it's definitely not giving me energies where, you know, you guys will have conversations with each other, but it's not a turn on. Okay? Yeah, I think that's more it. It's not necessarily that this person turns you off. It's just they don't turn you on initially. First impression, it's like you have a conversation with this person. It may feel like it falls flat. It's that kind of an energy. Let's see. Do you find them physically attractive or sexually attractive? You do feel very comfortable with them, though. We got family here and home, so you feel comfortable with them. You feel at ease with them, and you might even feel at home with them, but there's still initially, there is that initial lack of spark and chemistry. Not saying that that doesn't develop over time, okay? Physical attraction, sexual attraction. We got maybe. Let's get two more. It says will take a while. Long-term potential. The journey has just begun, okay? Let's get two more. And I'm feeling like the sexual attraction, the physical attraction comes when, you know, you guys discover a spark and a chemistry with each other. We got love movie. It says yes. Okay, we'll get one more. Maybe. We have one yes and two maybes, okay? This feels like something that builds, possibly builds over time. You know, do you find them physically, sexually attractive? The potential for it is there. This is going to be true for those of you where, you know, hold on. This may not be a bad thing in terms of like, you know, because I feel like with fairies, we got love movie here. Okay, we have will take a while, long-term potential, the journey has just begun. And then we got fairy tale story, love like the movies. Like it has the potential to become that in terms of like your sexual attraction. And it may very well be that maybe the spark and the chemistry isn't discovered until you guys do, you know, take things to that sexual level. There might just be enough of a sexual attraction with your person and a physical attraction to spark a chemistry, okay? To spark, you know what I mean? That passion and that desire. But is it something that's just going to feel like it knocks you upside the head the first time you guys meet or converse? It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel instant, but that doesn't mean it's not there, okay? Let's see. Now we're going to do is messages about your first impressions of them. Let's see. So while I'm getting this energy out, if this is resonating, if it's entertaining at all, adding to your quality of life, you can show your thanks and your appreciation by smashing the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know what pile you picked to let me know how it resonated. Hit that subscribe button to become part of the family along with the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an upload. Messages about pile 1's. First initial impressions. Okay, so the first thing that wanted to come out, I believe, I think it was finances in the reverse. Yeah, there's something about their financial situation where you're just like, you can tell, you know, they get in their own way. They sabotage their own financial success. I'm hearing in a big way. Yeah, so your first initial impression, this doesn't feel like it's going to be something where the two of you just end up, you meet and then you right away you start dating and then you're engaged, and then this feels like kind of like a slow burn. This may even just be somebody that you just talk to on a very friendly basis for a minute. Because we have weight, it says the timing is not quite right, okay? So we got here and now. Your true love is already a part of your life. So for some of you, this could be someone that you already know, okay? This could be somebody that you are already talking to, and you don't recognize them as your future spouse because they haven't matured into that future spouse energy yet, okay? We're talking about just first impressions, and it feels like your first impression of the energy or of the person that later on at some point in time does become your future spouse. You don't recognize them as such yet, right? And so you're gonna recognize this person because there is an instant connection. There's a bond there. There is that. There definitely seems to be the spark in the chemistry, and then the physical. There's more of a possibility of having that sexual attraction there. I do feel for a lot of you, you may already know this person, but you haven't had sex with them yet, right? And I feel like for a lot of you that when you do that, that's what sparks the chemistry, and that's what gets the romantic part of the connection going. That may be, you guys don't even, that may be when you recognize this person as being your future spouse. Let's see. Messages about pile 4's first impressions. We got off the hook. Ignoring you on purpose. This almost feels like, yeah, you're not heeding, you're not noticing the call, okay? You're not going to recognize them as your future spouse at first. But there definitely is a soul recognition that comes through. Their worst nightmare with karmic connection. Hold on. Let's get one more. Starting fresh. Starting fresh is coming after worst nightmare karmic connection. Okay, that might be talking about timing, because this says new chapter, clean slate, and starting over. You may see this person, like, you may be thinking about this person, like, if I got married to that person right now, it would be a worst nightmare. Let's, hold on, we'll get the Moonology card, and then we'll see what we get here. Well, yeah, it's like, right now is not the time. The timing for this connection, like, at the time that you form or you have or you experience a first impression of your future spouse, you're not going to know that that's your future spouse. You're not going to know it. Okay, and the reason being is that it's like your future spouse is going through some kind of a transformation. They're going through soul evolution. While that is happening, the two of you are forming a bond. You're forming a connection. It may be more platonic than anything. You're not recognizing each other as, you're not recognizing them as your future spouse is what it feels like. The reason being is that, if you were to recognize them as a future spouse and then move in that direction, it would feel like, that worst nightmare. The timing for you to recognize them as your future spouse is just not right. So you're not going to recognize them or see them as your future spouse right away. It's not that kind of a connection, okay? That part of it comes at some point later on down the road after they've done some maturing, some experiencing some soul evolution. I do feel like there is a part of you, though. There is a part of you. Because we got off the hook. And then I think we had phone call in the reverse up here. Yes, we did. There's a part of you that kind of knows that this person is your future spouse. But you're not wanting to believe it. You're not wanting to own it or something like that. It's like you're ignoring it. Let's see. It's time to take action. Your person's energy is going to do a complete 180 at some point. They're going to go through some kind of a rebirth. We got starting fresh here, right? They're going to experience something within their energy where they're just going to get tired of being in this energy over here, where they're sabotaging their own success, not growing up, you know, just they're going to get bored with that. And something is going to happen, and there's going to be some kind of a shift in their energy. This is new moon in Aries, right? Something is going to happen that's going to precipitate or facilitate some kind of a shift in their energy. That's fire energy, okay? Something's going to activate the fire element within them, where they are going to start finally feeling motivated and guided to start taking some more action towards, you know, if they're in a funk, getting out of their funk, you know, maybe finishing up school or starting a business, or, you know, doing better at work or applying for promotions or doing something like that, where they start to take charge of their life, right? Like I said, it can be very quick. They can go from, like, the time that you meet them, they may be like a page energy, and then, you know, very quickly, especially with that Aries energy, they can go from a page to a king, or I should say emperor, right? Very, very quickly. I love that they were showing up, though, in cup energy, just kind of letting you know they are a sweetheart, right? But they do have the potential for fire in, you know, and they probably do. They may have a lot of fire in their chart. The potential is there, but for some reason, that element within them has been deactivated. And at some point, something happens that kind of like it ignites that inner flame, and it gets them going. It gets them moving finally. And they finally start to grow up. They start to make changes. They finally start to, you know, they get out of their own way, basically. And when that shift happens, I feel like that's when you're really going to recognize them and see them as your future spouse. It's almost like what's coming through, you know, and this is it's inclusive, but the message that's coming through, it's like you meet them as a boy, but you marry them as a man, okay? And you can, you know, fashion that as you know, if that's not what you're interested in, it's like you meet them as a girl, but you marry them as a woman. Not saying that you literally meet them. I mean, you could if you guys known each other since childhood, but we're talking about maturity-wise, right? You may see this person as being very childish and immature right now. But by the time the two of you end up getting married, it's like your view of them takes a complete 180, because they did a complete 180, okay? Whatever happened that shut off that inner fire element within them, something happens that reignites it, and all of a sudden it's just they move very quickly through whatever lessons are supposed to, you know, have been moving through that they've been kind of holding off on. All right, you guys, we're going to end your reading there. Hope that it resonated. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today, and I will see you guys at your next future spouse pick a card reading. Bye, guys.